Those who joined us on the 12th of May, we had something called Team Nursery Day in Buddhistport, where we showcase our capabilities. Having said that, please take our colleagues through the presentation. I'm going to request that because this needs to be structured, we allow him to present. Unless we cannot, we're unable to, we allow him to present, and then thereafter you can then start asking questions. If it's okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Once more, good morning, and thank you for joining us in Salt River. It's one of our oldest plants in Salt River. So all along we've been doing coaches here, PRASA coaches, the general overhauls for PRASA. And you will have noticed that that part of the PRASA or equipment is no longer in use. They have now gone into the new trains, which they call it the blue train. So it's not a blue train as such a blue train, but they call it blue train. The blue train is maintained by Transnet Engineering that we do in Pretoria. So when we then what did sort of asked us what else, and it called us for the employees that are in Cape what do we do with it, and also in Durban and in other areas that we have the manufacturing of coaches that have to be done. We then came and realized there is a gap and a need in the maritime space, and our brother sister ODs are busy there and busy with a lot of other items that they do there, equipments that they maintain. Some of them really need the engineering that we have, that we can be able to assist in doing them. So we diversified ourselves from just focusing on rolling stock and start looking into the port and the maritime. I'll just take you a few things that we've done in the past, but we just sort of developed as the OEM of trainers, and we then said, can we not go into maintaining these items and many other things that we are able to do. I'll take you a few. Those who have joined during the Africa Rail, you should have seen a few things that we are busy with as manufacturing. I'm only speaking from because you've got your under Transnet Engineering, we've got maintenance part, which maintain the rolling stock, and we also have manufacturing, which do overhauls, the damage repairs, we build new. So those are the items that we do on the port equipment and also in rolling stock. So I'm not sure who's controlling. So I will start under manufacturing, under engineering, Transnet Engineering manufacturing. We'll have a transportation. Here we focus mostly on the components that we do. It's your rolling RM, wheels, things that we do for other businesses. So we've got what we call transportation. Transportation focuses new build. It's your locomotives, coaches, wagons, and they will refurbish most of the rolling stock. As I said, new, damage, and whatever that general overhaul that may require. Then we've got your modernization, where we do small components. It could be your traction motors that are empowering your locomotives or other your coaches. We do other lot of parts that will go into your locomotives and your coaches. Then we've got your fabrication, where we can start a locomotive from scratch. This business will have seen during the building of the new locomotives in the past. We've been building these things from scratch. We've got the blacksmiths there. We've got the foundry, 2 foundries that we are running around the country. One is in Buddhistport, the other one is in Bloemfontein. So the 2 foundries, they are old and not so much modernized. And we've been battling over the years in running this foundry. That's where we're looking at some stage. We'll start talking when we talk about having partners or PSPs. Will be one of those that we're looking forward to have other people that we can work with to assist us in bringing this foundries into a working and a good and capable foundries. Now, this is the maritime on top. This is what I will be focusing more on today. What we build new, we remanufacture, refurbish, business focus into ports and to the maritime space, maritime related equipment. You'll realize that we've got the port trailer. I will show you that we've built from scratch. We are the OEM of trailers. And we've also have done the 23 straddle carrier with some of the OEMs that are international. We built that in Japan a few years ago. We also are overhauling haulers that we do for different types of OEMs, building on behalf of TPT. We also have our own hauler that we have built from scratch. That hauler is still going through some processes of testing, and we've manufactured 2 of them. They are going through different testing. Once they've passed, we'll then deploy them into various areas. We've got what we call our RTGs. Those RTGs we have for TPT, we have maintained them in the past and made sure that they are in working order. We also have employees that are working on these RTGs continuously with TPT, where they are gaining some experience on the TPT sites. We've built skips from scratch, and some of them all over the country. Some recently built, latest one we built for Saldanha Terminal, and they are on a lease in Saldanha. Next slide. Now, I always say we've done almost everything as an engineering division of Transnet. If you look at it, I will say we take you from pot to the pit. And in the, what am I saying? We will take minerals from wherever they are, using the locomotives as we see on top. Let me start from the right hand side. We'll take it from the customer, using the locomotives. That locomotives we have refurbished over the years. This locomotive is over 50 years. We've refurbished it over the years. When it reached, it started as a 6E, it went to be an 18E locomotive, which we refurbished ourselves. From there, that locomotive is still running even today. If you look at the bottom, is a TAL, Trans-Africa locomotive. That locomotive is built, born, designed by Transnet Engineering, and is currently running in Saldanha. We've got 3 of them running in Saldanha. They are in a working order, and they were built within Transnet Engineering by our own designs and our own capable engineers. And we've got wagons. We are the OEM of wagons. We've built, designed, built from scratch by ourselves, manufacturing, build this continuously as required. We'll then move into the yards, where we'll then put everything together. And I'll say, on the middle part, it's then where we get into the crux of the matter. It's then your port equipment. On top, I like talking to it in such a way that if you look at the trailer that is hooked into the hauler, we've now have designed and internally a hauler, as we can see it, pulling a trailer that we are the OEM of the trailer and built within Transnet Engineering. It will then put the skips that you see, different skips as you see them, different skips we've all built with different sizes, your 25, 27, your 40 tons, we'll build it. On the right hand side is your hauler, your V1 and your V2. When we did the version 1, then after that we then did version 2 of the haulers that also built internally. Those on your middle one, it's your trailers. We can multi-purpose trailers, your bathtub trailers, hazmat trailers. All these trailers will be able to do different types of handling types of any type of, either you want to put a hauler into it, or you want to put a container into it, or you just want to put some different equipment into it. It will be able to hold. And on the right and left hand side, it's where your straddle carrier comes in. We've built this 23 of them in Durban. and you can see it picks up the container. So from the trailer, hauler, container on top, we are able to put on top, remove on top, anything that you want to do. Using below your spreader beams, which we also built, goes into the straddle carrier. Different types of the speed drivers that we also have installed into the straddle carriers, and we are able to maintain. The only area that we'll realize is coming from the seaside. Once you get into the sea, we don't have the capability as yet. We are working into it, and that's where we stop. You can see, as I say, from pit to port, but we want to go into the sea. We've started on the maritime, where we started preparing some of the small ships there and there, guided by those who know better. And as we getting ourselves into that space where we will say we want to sail into the sea. So this is the journey that we've been through over the years. And as you can see, we are the OEMs in many of these trailers, many of the skips, many of the haulers, locomotives and wagons. We really want to get into the marine side and make sure that we stick into it. We want to better ourselves in all the things that we do, making sure that we do a good job into it. Next slide. So these are all kinds of equipments that we've done over the years. As you can see right at the bottom is the luxurious blue train. If you've been into it, we have built it within Transnet Engineering and manufacturing, and we continuously maintain it. Metro Prasa coaches that we also have built, and we are the OEM. Botswana coaches that we built a few years ago and sent into Botswana, they're still in running condition. The tankers that we continue to build in our plant in Jamestown, the coal wagons that we built in Devon plant, and we continue to maintain it under the maintenance part. The auto carrier wagons that we also do, we've done them in Utenink, and we continuously, whenever there's orders there, we do it. Your different locomotives that we've maintained over the years, the 22Es and the 23Es, we continue to build 23E in Devon with Alstom. If you want to see that land, you're also welcome. It looks so beautiful as we continue to build those new locomotives together with Alstom. The TAL locomotive that I've spoken about that we've done as we continue with it running in South Ghana. So we've got all the capabilities of maintaining, refurbishing, and we continue to maintain. Next slide. Now, each and every engineering department will tell you what we have and what equipment we use in order to do your work that you have to do. We've got different, I couldn't put all of them here. It's just a matter of just showing you our lasers and our plasma cutters that we have currently, and what sizes of the materials, how thick it is, up to 60 millimeters that we can be able to cut. If we are unable to cut anything else, we go into the market where we will get up to 100 millimeters that we can be able to cut. We've got brilliant, beautiful machines, equipments that we ordered over the years, up to 16 meter bed that you might have of Azea. Your mini machines that we have in Devon. In Pulesport, we've got 2. In Devon, we've got 2. We've got other small machines here in South River, in all over the countries. We've got a lot of these machines, and they are able to do a lot of things that you might think about. Now, I've also put the tendon wheels, which is what we've just recently done. We've never done this before. This is for your tipler. And we managed to deliver it just before the shutdown, and shutdown that went well in South Ghana. Now, we just get a block of steel, and this is supplied from America and that. So when it gets here, that's just a block, a big block, and we can machine it into different sizes. As you can see, it's on the machine. That required to be machined into different size, drill it into accordingly. As you can see, When it's ready to be shipped, it's that way. Then it comes into Salt River. They then put it together in Salt River with all these other items. You'll see it on the floor. We've put it down for you just to see how it comes here and how it gets to be assembled together. Once it's assembled together, it looks like the one in the bottom. And that the top is the bogie. That bogie is when this item go into, and it will then go into tipper. What is the tipper? The tipper is that component that is used when the wagon comes in with the iron ore. You can be able to lift it and turn it around in order to empty the wagon. And you will see it if you're bringing into Southern, how it moves so quickly. So we are getting into the port equipment as we have, I've alluded to earlier on, and that's where we are looking into making sure that we supply all this equipment that will be able to enable other ODs and anybody else around Africa who's willing to utilize us as the engineering department. Next. Now, you cannot do these things alone. Anything that you do, you always have other people that will assist you. For you to be able to grow, you really need to develop other suppliers, your partnership, your OEMs, that the original manufacturers, others that they can be able to enable you to be able to do what you need to do. We need to partner with the private sector, diversify, for us to be able to diversify skills and service offerings by TE, driving business innovative and closing the gaps that has been there, enabling the optimal utilization of TE assets and capabilities for the benefit of the industry and the country as a large. So this is what we do. We will work with OEM. For instance, if we require them to give us the parts that will be able to enable us to do what we need to do, we work closer with them. I'm not going to mention each and every one of them, but it's a lot of the different OEMs that we work with them. We will make sure that we utilize the local, or making sure that we localize the South African suppliers and make sure that they are all on board and assisting us. We want to improve and compliance SA industrial targets, enable cost optimization in maintenance of manufacturing through continuous improvement, create synergy in the market through training, development, and retainment of critical technical skills. As you know, sometimes we have got the skills that we will lose if we do not maintain it. Optimal design based on user requirements and experience, reduced procurement lead times. There is no person that whenever you're saving them, they will not be looking for what, when are you delivering my component. You will see what we do. We've got callers that we will take and say we will maintain. We will get them in a very bad state, and ours is to retain them as new, and we will show you as we go to the floor how we get it and what we do, the intents of the work. We always put it into, let's say we take a hauler that has been not running state, we strip, we shot blast, we paint, we repair the damages on it, and we will rebuild it as new and send it back as an working. We'll show you and we'll start it for you, we'll show you how to do it once it is in working condition. Like I said, everybody wants to see, but how long, when am I getting it back? And that's the main thing, how quickly we can be able to respond. Next slide. Next slide is just talking to many items and our strategy, not only looking into in the programs that we'll be doing, not only for the internal consumption, but going into the Africa market and making sure that we also are present. We've spoken to many other ports, your Trans-Namibia, your Global World. We've spoken to many other OEMs, port runners out there, just to be sure that we are available whenever there is a need of engineering, that we can be able to do the work for them. Next slide. and also making sure that we're working with the private sector. So we continuously work with TPT in integrating our technology improvement and making sure that whatever that they are willing to come in and do, we are available to customize whatever that solution that they may be requiring, and making sure that we deal with everything that is engineering related, maintenance as such. Next slide, which is mostly where are we as this maritime port equipment manufacturer. Our head office, yes, is in Pretoria, and most our researchers and developers, you will find us in Pretoria. That's where the head office is. In Richards Bay, we've got a team there that is there as they deal with the bulk terminal operations support. There they do haulers, they do trailer maintenance, and the skips maintenance as well. In Devon, it's one of our biggest. It's where the RTGs, travel carriers, haulers, and trailers maintenance support. They built new trailers. We just finished the order of 80 new trailers for Devon, perhaps we will be doing a 90-ton trailers for the Richards Bay depot soon. We are busy finalizing the paperwork there. We'll be going into the market looking for certain components as we will be putting it together. And we're also available in Lucha. There we've done the auto mooring system. You'll see it as we go into it. Continuously support them in refurbishing the systems that they have for the mooring of the ships. We'll also do the new bolt trailers and RTGs, haulers and trailers, and continuous maintenance support that we give. Saldanha is our key. We've gone into Saldanha, started 2-3 years ago, and we started very small. We're now moving into a very big. What do we do in Saldanha? There's a lot of mooring systems that we do for TMPA. We also do a lot of work. There's trim and wheels for the tier that I was referring to. We built it for the Saldanha terminal as well. In Cape Town, the team is working on the RTGs. They're working on haulers, trailers, maintenance support. You'll see it as you go at the bottom. New build trailers, deployment. Synchro lift for the TNPA, you'll see it. What does those synchro lift is those wheels that where you put the ship when it goes out for maintenance. So the bogies that go where your ship goes in, it goes into on top of them, and you manage to do the maintenance. Once it's done maintenance, you send it back into the sea. So we are there as well. We do that for them. In PE, bulk operation terminal maintenance, the space and support, ship cradle repairs, and any other maintenance. So this is all the areas where we will find Transnet Engineering, and with everything that we are doing. As we said, we are diversifying from normal just a rolling stock maintenance into many other things that we can be able to do, and not only for Transnet but also for the other marketers that are out there looking for work to be done. Yeah, I think that's all the statements. That's next slide. So this is I spoke about the 2 prototypes of the haulers that we've done and going through different approvals, and once it's done and testing, we will then deploy them. Over the years, we've done over 500 trailers, brand new. This deployed in TPT. Different types, 61-ton multi-purpose, 60-ton bathtubs, 90-ton multi-purpose as well, which goes into different terminals. 23 strategic carrier that we bought new for DCT. With the OEM, I just want to mention that we did not do it on our own, we did with the OEM support. And the strategic areas that we managed to refurbish and repair on ourselves, those 18 of them, the rubber tire gantry cranes that we refurbished. We also more than 500 skips, different skips that we have done over the years. So that is where we are, TE capabilities, manufacturer, the repairer, the refurbishment, we assemble, we maintain, we continue to maintain. That slide talks to other parts that we've done, moorings. This is the mooring system that we have deployed. That is in PE, and we have continuously maintained it and making sure that it's available to moor your ships, not mooring as mooring. Some people talk about mooring, I think about mooring is mooring. And mooring is when a ship comes in and there is this wave that keep pushing it, and this just sustain it, make it to stand. And you say once it's moved, and you want to make sure that it does not moving away while the unpacking that ship. That ship cradle that is in Noha as well, that the team has refurbished, just completed, and we've received a very good rating from TNPA for the job well done there. So we'll continue to do so wherever we are. Various key sites, equipment that we are busy with, and you'll see some of these components again. We've got another different types of the boring hook at the bottom that the guys are busy in, and Saldana working on them, maintain them continuously, making sure that they work. The different cages that I use in pots that they are working on. Next slide. Yeah, so this is where I conclude. TE is focused on expanding itself, service offerings, and diversifying manufacturing capability, fostering strategic partnerships, and penetrating the new market. Transnet Engineering is poised to significantly increase its market share in the port equipment maintenance and manufacturing sector. This initiative will not only strengthen TE's position within South Africa, but also establish its presence as a key player across the African Union. So that's where we are in terms of the manufacturing of rolling stock and port equipment, and moving into spaces where we've never moved into before, and trying to make sure that we settle in them and even do better in those circumstances. I'm not sure if there's anybody else that's want to add. I've now have Colette that has just joined us. She is our procurement key manager. She will mention her role on the supply chain, and I'm glad she's here. Every time when people start talking, we are giving you our equipment, we will get it on time. I also look, Colette, you make sure that they've got that material that they require in order to make sure that we deliver those things on time. So she's out here, Colette. I'm not sure if
perhaps not, but just to greet. So, good morning, everyone. As my colleague Zach has said, my name is Colette Yende. I am the Chief Procurement Officer for Transnet Engineering. And I think just to amplify what my colleague has said, when we had our industry day, the key there was that Transnet Engineering is open for business. And second to that, I want to amplify the part where he says we want to partner with the industry, we want to partner with the OEMs, not only just to grow our market share, but also because Transnet is at the key of revitalizing not only just the rail industry, but the ports. You know, I think we've had, as he says, challenges in terms of just penetrating the market, but we're starting to see the market also just participating and engaging in with us. But what is key as well is that he is under pressure all the time. So while we're open for business, the expectation is that when I place that order with the product spec that he gives me, I expect support from my partners in the industry in shortening our lead times. But more than that, we all need to be cost competitive. So while we open for business, we don't have we're not growing money in any tree. So partnership also must lead to cost competitiveness, not only for us as TE, but the service we offer to TPT and TNPA, because all of that then leads to the growth of the economy. So I think from my side, really, we are doing great work, but not only alone with the industry at large. Thank you.
Thank you. Colleagues, that is it from Transnet Engineering. Like I said when I started, we're going to make this very structured. He's going to present. I'm glad Colette just joined. She just presented yesterday, by the way, at SAPICS. So our Chief Procurement Officer, but they're both here. Because like I said, you cannot manufacture, maintain without strategic sourcing from her. We are definitely going to share the presentation.
Yes.
I just wanted to make sure because I realize that there's an appetite. I think we can reassure you that. Having said that, welcome to everybody who just joined us later. Like I said, and I thank you. This is recorded, so we're going to share, make sure that everybody gets a copy so that when you write comfortably. This is the time where we actually open for questions. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. So there is a process that we use internally as Transnet. We call it interdivisional agreements. So those agreements is, for instance, there will be a budget that's put forth by the TPA, TPT, and TNPA, but we work as competitive as possible. We don't want to either overcharge or do pricing that is not according to the market. We make sure that our pricing within ourselves is market related, and we make sure that we deliver on time and we don't take any advantage of that. It is Transnet that is asking for this. We also have the opportunity where we say we are not comfortable with the work that they are currently giving to us. If there is a such, we then allow them to go out or allow us to, on their behalf, to go into the market and find a suitable person that can be able to do the work that we are unable to do ourselves. So we still have that agreement, and it's within competitive, as you said.
It's not like you get to work.
Well, currently we internally we go with the first refusal of work, and if we are unable to do it, we can then say go out, or we will go out on your behalf. As remember, the existence of Transnet Engineering is to make sure that we enable our audits. Hence, we've got the leg of Transnet Engineering within Transnet, is to make sure that all the things that I've spoken about, they are available for the audits. So, yeah, it's a very interesting one, a very good question. So, into the ship space, we are looking into, firstly, can we maintain? Are we able to do this thing? We're not going to say we will build a ship, we will never go there. TNPA continue to buy ships or whatever that they need. We have gone into working with a certain OEMs already, where they've taken us into comfort and try and start saying, what is it that we're really looking into doing? And where do we come in? How do we assist you? So this is where we come and start saying, these two ships that we have within Transnet, can we maintain them and assist TMPA will not that we want to just go out and build our own ships. No, we just want to maintain so that we enable them whenever there's issues in those ships that we have.
So, with regards to Transnet, I'll deal with the three divisions that you are actually talking to in there. So we've got Transnet Rail Infrastructure Manager, which is TRIM, and the role of TRIM is to get the network and the infrastructure ready, right? So that is done by the infrastructure team, which is a leg of Transnet. Then you have Transnet Freight Rail. So Transnet Freight Rail's role is to move the cargo. So the fleet that we manufacture and maintain belongs to TFR. So the role then that TE plays in the whole tripartite alliance, if you may, is that we build the freight for TFR. We maintain the freight for TFR. Not necessarily for TFR only, so that the customers that TFR has, they've got readily available fleet, they've got reliable fleet, and then everything can move smoother and faster, right? I think we know that previously we had certain challenges. We still have through ZEC fleet that we are recovering that has been standing for a long time. So from a procurement perspective, we support that. So the role of TRIM, I think, in a high level, I'll just explain it like that, is that they need to get the infrastructure in from the pentals to the
Wheels.
to just the infrastructure in itself. So we don't necessarily participate much there because that is their role and their mandate. Much as we are not into, we don't sign the contract with the mines to move the freight. However, when our CE, Russell from TFR, needs to move, he better have the locomotives ready, he better have the wagons ready. So in a nutshell, that's how we fit in from that perspective. I'll allow them to answer the other question.
Like I was saying, we don't want to enter into many other areas.
So you're dipping your toes into that.
But to maintain within our space, where we are making sure that we, in terms of the equipment that we are repairing and maintaining for the ports, we will make sure that they are in a moving and workable condition. We've deployed our teams into the port, making sure that they assist in terms of the equipment and maintenance of the equipment. Okay, so I like your question, and you're so correct. We are diversified, and we want to go into spaces where we haven't done before. And how do we then work towards the African market? And the role of TE is always been clear. Let's say, for instance, in terms of the budget, the market. If in case they advertise any tender, they come with their own budget, and they will then we tender into the work, and then do the work and sell to them. Now, in that we then create employment, where when we get a tender, we then employ more people into our manufacturing space and making sure that we deliver that work on time. So it does mean that we do create job opportunities within the South African market and also within the African region as well. Our footprint shows itself as we move into different markets and making sure that we are all over where we can be. Transnet Engineering has built, like for instance, wagons up to Nagala in Mozambique. As much as we have been in Saudi Arabia, under manufacturing, doing wheels there as well. So we've just proven ourselves that we are able to do these things. The good thing is, yes, we don't just want to assemble. It's not everything to do, and it's not sustainable all the time. But building from scratch, it also helps. And we've got this town that we've built. We are now talking myself, Colette, and our engineering department. How then do we operationalize this town, that locomotive that we built? That means that we must go out there and find a partner that could be able to say, let's build this locomotive together. A person that will say, I'm bringing a budget in, and ours is to make sure that together we build it, and we can be able to sell it into any country that requires it. Within, you know, that rail now has gone into opening up the space for different operators. There's talent committees will also be available and can be built within Transnet to make sure that it's available for whoever needs it. So that gives us that leverage and the opportunity to say we are able to get and we are able to maintain as well at the same time and build within the African market and as well our children that are still out there looking for jobs. Some of them they can be able to get some work in our space. I'm not sure for
Okay, interesting that you are actually currently focusing on that community called Union Park because we operate in Union Park. Many years ago, we had similar approaches. We got them into the room because we are obviously making sure that we uplift the communities that we live in. The footprint is across, as you know, it is across. But it's a good case study because we just met yesterday. Because what happens is the landscape then changes. They forget that they came to protest before, and they come back and they know that the leaders have left, and they think that history is deleted. So we met, we had committed to the community because we understand, particularly because the pains are employment, the pain is procurement, supply development, Transnet leasing property to foreigners. The list is endless, but the beauty about the list is that it is the same list as well. So we have this month, during this month of the Youth Month, we are going to have a career expo, not just for the community, we invited all other communities, and we have had them to commit to say we will look for the place, the hall, where we are going to get our procurement, our human resources, our supply development, anybody, but remember, whoever is going to be sharing the information, because it's more about access to data, it's going to be representing the entire Transnet. I mean, we've got an amazing word from our academy that says to the youth, we will not just give you bursaries, obviously engineering specific bursaries, but we also have on-the-job learning. We also have, there's just a list of amazing things that Transnet does. And we realize that it is just access to information. Where do I access this information? We are rolling it out throughout the country during the current month of Youth Month, yeah. Because we're saying, actually, let's get reminded that the community out there it has an appetite. They just want to know where do we get this thing, and it becomes our responsibility. Yeah.
Sorry. If I may just answer directly the question where you asked how transparent is our procurement process. I think 2 years ago, Transnet launched the e-tender portal. We do understand that the manuality of the way things were created a challenge and lack of transparency. So therefore, it was launched, so it's fully operational. Any person that wishes to know what's out in the market from Transnet, and it's not only TE, it's just Transnet as a whole. So all our bids are now advertised on the portal. And if a person bids on the portal, you are able to track progress of where your bid is. So the transparency is now out there. Fortunately, we also have to abide by the National Treasury regulations. So therefore, even in that, we are even audited on did you even share who won the bid, did you give a letter to the unsuccessful bidder. So there, I think we've managed to clean up the issue of transparency. Perhaps to the immediate example you are using, there is also a slight challenge where not everyone has access to the internet, right? And I think recent result will tell you that's amongst other things they are challenged, that you keep putting things there and you don't have access to it. So the training, when they came the last time, we actually took them through the training in terms of how do you register your company on the portal, how do you track, etc., etc. And we hope that if there's still challenges, those are always open. Really, we do have a supply development team that can then support them to say, this is what you need to do, and this is how you track your reference number, etc.
So in terms of the training as well, the training is open. Our faculty of engineering goes out every year to take on some apprentices, people that they train They are also looking into how then do we deploy some of the trainings into our working space to make sure that not just training only, but also making sure that at the end of the training there is sort of on-job training that they might, and we leave them, we let them out there, they can be able to apply to any company that they are able with the skill that they have. They go out carrying a Red Sea, which for them is something that we've developed for them. So they are welcome to apply as soon as the process opens. It opens every year, and we take apprentice every year.
Thank you. Before I come to you, I just wanted to say, I think what we'll do, we'll make sure that we actually to cover because this is just one case study that's going to address the national challenges. Because everything that we're talking about, it's all these portals, digitization, so what? So much. Thank you very much. Please, let's
Yeah, so like we said, Transnet Engineering is one of the oldest established within the Transnet as an umbrella. So we are there as an engineering department, and we continue to stay as an engineering department. So we will be continuously supporting even when the rails open, we are open to assist or maintain any, as you know that we have been on the rail for many years, and we have got that experience in engineering, designing, and all that we can be able to do. So we continue to do our engineering to anybody, that is for our internal, external, that will be coming in. We are open for that. In terms of the equipment that and components that we bought from China, locals that we bought over the years, we continue to maintain them. When we are unable to get material, we have come, because we've got an engineering department and we've got the capability of where we are able to take those components and re-engineer components. Although some components we cannot go into much details that might also put us into as you know, the IP and related issues, but we try and make sure that they will continue to run.
So
We
you
are
guys like,
continuously,
you keep them running.
we keep them running.
We've got the back on the rails.
Yeah, we've gone out into the market to see if we can find any suitable equipment that can be able to be used for those locomotives. We've now gone out where Alstom has come in as a stepping OEM into preparing of some of those locomotives. It continues to be a challenge, I must say, but we continue to work around it. Manufacturing is very difficult. You must just go out there and see how the manufacturers are doing. It's one of those businesses that one year you are up there, the next year you are out, depending on what's the market need up there. And if you don't have any order, it becomes difficult for manufacturing. So let me talk from the point of the port and marine time. When we started about 3 years ago. We started by just 3 million rand in this marine space as a start. The following year we moved from the 3 to 130 million rand. Then this past year we've now gone to 300 million rand as a business of maritime. So we are now moving into and position ourselves that we want to go into 550 million as a business. And in terms of the profit, the previous year we did 28 million rand annual profit. So it is a profitable business, maritime. Also, we are looking further into within the next 8 to 10 years that we'll have grown the business of a billion rand. That's where we are going, and we will continuously improve on what we do. And as much as we do get orders there and there, and we're looking for them to grow the business even bigger than currently what it is.
So just for clarity, you say that you need about 28 million, right? Is that over a 3-year period in terms of your...
No, just the previous year.
Previous year?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's maritime,
Maritime, yeah.
So maritime with 300 million turnover now.
Yeah.
Hoping for 550 soon.
Yeah.
Next this year?
This year, that's
This year? This financial year?
This financial year.
And the target is 1 billion.
In 8 to 10 years, yes, we plan to do that. So it's a continuous building, we're building block. The things that we are able to do and do better, we will actually focus on them and do much even better than today.
But your biggest business is maritime.
No, it's not. It's a starting business that we, as we say, we are diversifying. Always been doing the rolling stock, which is our biggest part.
Can I ask what
It's a tight one. We've gone into just above 6 billion as a total manufacturing. Yeah.
For rolling stock manufacturing?
Yeah.
Not rolling, not.
Remember, this rolling stock lies within the manufacturing.
So total manufacturing business 6 billion.
Which is more from the technical application. So you mentioned at the beginning of your presentation, the operational focus, maritime, transportation, modernization, fabrication. So is maritime, is that now your latest venture that Transnet is going to?
Yes.
And how long have you been working with the maritime section?
This is our third year.
Third year. Okay, third year, and then all the other operation focus, are they part of your daily activities?
Part of my daily activities.
Okay, and how long have those other focus been?
It's been since the interception of Transnet Engineering.
Okay.
Yeah.
More than 150 years,
Yeah.
to be exact.
Thanks.
And I think just so that we are in the same page, rolling stock would include locomotives, freight wagons, passenger coaches.
Yeah.
And because I think we think people know, you said RSM, rolling stock,
Yeah.
but yeah, so if you do that, but you're now saying because you've got the capabilities, why not help your other customers internally, like TPT, because remember TFR moves commodity via rail, they move commodities via ports. So we have the capacity for the country, why not in diversify?
What is it?
So,
Oh, yes, yes. I was gonna ask this 6 billion rand that you mentioned, there's what percentage of it is, what percentage of the total revenue collection of the company itself? So, TE or this much?
No. That is just, I was just talking manufacturing. I'm not giving as an entire.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, you can give us the entire.
No, I can't. Not in this platform. Here I'm taking to the maritime mostly. Even the figures that I give subjected to ratified by all the committees that are within Transnet. So I don't want to give figures and only to find that
Give us last year's figures then.
No, I won't.
I think we're currently going through our financial audits.
Financial audit.
So we submitted all the Fs, the annual financial statements. So I think it's safe to say, let us not commit on numbers
Yeah.
up until that process is
This
completed.
process
So
is
if you're asking about last year's numbers, our financial year ended on the 31st of March. So therefore, the process is still, I think it's now almost finalized, but yeah, I think
The
it's,
AG is still going
yeah,
through.
let's not say things and then the AG say and then.
And then what
Yeah.
do you say?
And they will be announced anyway, I
They'll
think
be
between
announced,
July and August, to everybody as a state owned. You want to ask?
So from a procurement perspective, what my colleague was talking about, he does rolling stock, right?
Okay.
Now, with regards to rolling stock, he gives me the specification. So when I go to the market, I'm actually looking for partners, and partners in various stages. You could be partnering with me to supply him steel, right? You could be partnering with us, even from when you spoke about the billets, that whole round steel thing that he said we imported. So we're looking for partners locally that could manufacture that. We've been talking at length for many years, I think for the 4 or 5 years since First National Batteries closed the industrial battery that they used to make for us. Now we're importing that. So we're looking for partners in this country to then bring back what we call local content. Also just to support our industry at large, because it's not easy for Transnet to be importing things that we believe that they could be manufactured in this country. So with that, those are the partners that he's looking for. So when I go out to the market, I'm looking for partners in essence, OEMs that could partner with us to even develop further what we used to have. So when we talk about revitalization of the rail industry, I think now we must migrate out of the rail industry and say revitalization of the manufacturing sector. I think if it was not yesterday or sometime this week in the news, they spoke about how the manufacturing sector has dipped. Now we're looking at, we want to scale it up. And the fact that we're manufacturing, we're looking for people to supply us so we can manufacture better as well.
Thank you. But more.
I'm not going to go to details into that. I was part of the planning of those coaches at that time. From the fabrication point of view, we supplied different parts, putting together those coaches. We've worked very well with them. The allegations is one of those just allegations, and investigation has been done. So far, I haven't seen anything wrong that came through, but we continuously work with them. They are part of our customer. They recently have given me an order to refurbish their wagons, 34 of them, that we will be changing the braking system into different systems that we're busy with. We are working with them with another order that we still outstanding for work that we need to do with them. They're continuously in our face. They come, we talk, we work together. If whenever they need help, we have our team that go over to assess whatever the conditions of either the locomotives or the coaches that they might need to repair. We'll give them the scope of work and decide up to them. It's up to them whether they utilize us or they do it themselves. So we continuously work with the system. There has never been that damaged relationship between ourselves and the town. We are continuously very good relationship with them.
I think you're asking me, right?
Yeah.
It's important because most of the steel that we are using does come from there, right? So the steel that my colleague is using for some of his weapons comes from there. You look at a bogie, it uses a lot of carbon steel.
Yeah.
It comes from there, right? So it's important, and not only for Transnet. I think for other industries as well. There are certain steels that, or piping, that comes from there that we may not be using, but other South African companies that I know of are using. So it's very important. I think, yeah, and a lot of our castings as well, they come from there, and a lot of our customers or suppliers that we work with, they buy from there. I know most of them are beginning to manage their risk, because for us, if we've committed to Sasol as an example, on a certain date to deliver, we expect that our suppliers will support us in that regard.
Alrighty. Thank you so much. I'm hoping that you did find the session not just informative but educational and also engaging. I think engaging to me is an operative word. Please make sure that you have all registered your name on the register list. I am going to request that you make sure that you wear your safety vest. I'm hoping that we've got enough for everybody. And I'm looking for the landlord because safety matters. You've seen the video when you started, so that you can actually go and see these things. You don't think that it was a boardroom discussion. And then thereafter we'll come here and we'll have some refreshments and that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Oh, we've gone.